The WNBA just signed its own death warrant, and the locker rooms are already on fire. What we are seeing right now is a total meltdown of the greatest professional sports league for women on the planet. The loyalty that fans thought existed between stars and their franchises has been proven to be a complete lie. This is not just a free agency period or a standard expansion year. This is a contractual cliff that is about to drop the biggest names in basketball into a pit of uncertainty and disrespect.
Yo, if you love real basketball stories, deep dives, and the drama behind the game, you're in the right place. But if you want to take it to the next level, hit that join button. Members get exclusive content, early access, and behind-the-scenes drops you won't see anywhere else. Plus, you're directly supporting the channel and helping us bring you even better content. So if you rock with Basketball Spilled, become a member today. Let's keep the game alive.
The 2026 season is starting with a war that no one was prepared for. Front offices are stabbing their franchise cornerstones in the back while the league office watches the chaos with a smile. It is a reputation ruin for every single GM who thought they could play with people's lives and careers. Before we dive into the forensic evidence of this league-wide betrayal, you need to join the truth seekers who see through the fake PR. Subscribe to Basketball Spilled right now and join our Inner Circle membership to get our exclusive weekly documentary that the league does not want you to see. Use the hype button and the super thanks right now to support this investigation, because we are the only ones telling the real story while the mainstream media covers for the corrupt front offices. You are either with the Inner Circle or you are part of the problem. The reality is that 80% of the entire league is currently in a state of panic because of a massive failure in the new CBA. We are talking about nearly every player you know and love being left out in the cold just hours before the draft. The league ratified this new CBA so close to the season start that it created a literal trap for the players. This was not an accident by the league or the owners. It was a calculated move to strip away the power of the veterans and hand it back to the billionaire owners. 21 of last year's 24 All-Stars are technically entering the market or sitting on unprotected lists right now. That is a level of instability we have never seen in professional sports history. It is a complete slap in the face to the women who built this league into the powerhouse it is today. The most toxic part of this entire situation is the 5-player protection list. Imagine being a franchise legend who was given your blood and sweat to a city for a decade. Then you wake up and realize your front office did not even put you on the list of 5 players they want to keep. This is where the locker room cancer starts to grow. We have seen reports of veteran stars screaming at GMs in the practice facilities because they were left unprotected for the Toronto Tempo and the Portland Fire. These GMs are playing a dangerous game of chicken with their best players. They think they can leave a superstar unprotected because they assume the expansion teams won't want to pay a high salary. But that is a gamble that has already backfired and destroyed the chemistry of championship-caliber teams. The disrespect is thick enough to choke on in these facilities. We are talking about franchise faces being told they are replaceable by a piece of paper. This is a total meltdown of trust. When a star player finds out they are unprotected, it is like being told your family does not want you at the dinner table anymore. The front offices are acting like cold-blooded accountants instead of basketball leaders. They are hiding behind the CBA rules and claiming their hands are tied. But we know the truth. They are using the expansion draft as a tool to get rid of big contracts and aging stars that they no longer want to deal with. It is a manipulative tactic that has turned every locker room into a battlefield of egos and resentment. The Toronto Tempo and the Portland Fire are not just new teams, they are vultures circling a dying beast. Because of the way the rules were written, these expansion teams can select unrestricted free agents and take their bird rights with them. This means the expansion teams have more power than the original franchises. A star player could be snatched away and forced to move to a new city without any say in the matter. This has created a contractual cliff that is about to send the league into a tailspin. The players are frustrated because their loyalty has been met with cold indifference. They are looking at their teams and wondering why they ever bothered to play through injuries or represent the brand. The front offices are the ultimate villains in this story. They have created a system where they can dump a player's legacy for a draft pick or some salary cap relief. This is the corrupt nature of the business that fans never get to see on the highlights. Behind the scenes, the phone calls are full of threats and trade demands. Players are telling their agents they want out before they can be taken by an expansion team. They would rather choose their own destiny than let a corrupt front office decide it for them. The atmosphere is tense, and the clock is ticking down to the moment the draft picks are announced on ESPN. By the time the cameras start rolling, the damage will already be permanent. This is not just about basketball anymore. It's about brand deals and career longevity. When an all-star is left unprotected, it sends a signal to the entire world that they are not valued. This hurts their ability to sign endorsements and build their personal brands. The league is actively ruining the reputations of its biggest stars just to make the expansion process easier. It is a disgusting display of corporate greed over athlete well-being. The veterans are the ones who are suffering the most. They are being treated like used parts instead of the icons they are. The league office is trying to spin this as an exciting new era, but the players know it is a betrayal of the highest order. What the cameras missed during the preseason photo shoots were the closed-door meetings where veterans were told they were no longer a priority. The leaked audio from some of these sessions would make your skin crawl. You have GMs telling players that they need to be team players and understand the business side. But being a team player does not include being left as a sacrificial lamb for a new franchise in Toronto or Portland. The super free agency chaos is a monster that the league created to keep salaries down and keep players in check. It is a war on the talent that makes the game worth watching. The forensics of these contracts show a disturbing trend. The league knew this CBA would create a cliff. They knew that 80% of the players would be vulnerable. They chose to move forward anyway because it gives the front offices total control. The villains in the front offices are laughing all the way to the bank while the players are left wondering where they will be living next week. There is no sympathy for these GMs who are destroying decades of fan loyalty in a single afternoon. They are the architects of their own downfall because once the trust is gone, it never comes back. You cannot win a championship with a locker room full of players who know their team tried to get rid of them. The league war is only getting started. The evidence is all over the protection lists that were leaked early. Seeing names of future Hall of Famers on the Unprotected list is a bombshell that has rocked the basketball world. These are players who have jerseys in the rafters and rings on their fingers. To see them treated like trade bait is a disgrace. The witness statements from staff members tell a story of a league in total disarray. Coaches are caught in the middle of players who hate the front office and GMs who only care about the expansion draft rules. It's a recipe for a season that will be remembered for the drama instead of the buckets. The corruption goes even deeper when you look at how the unprotected lists were formed. Some teams protected younger players with zero accolades over established veterans just to save a few dollars. This is the toxic teammate environment that the league has forced upon these rosters. The veterans now look at the young players as the ones who stole their protection spots. This creates a rift that no coach can fix. It's a total meltdown of the sisterhood that the WNBA always claimed to represent. The league's narrative of unity is being exposed as a fraud by the very rules they implemented. As we get closer to the draft picks being announced, the tension is at an all-time high. The players are glued to their phones, waiting to see if they have been uprooted from their lives. The front offices are hiding in their war rooms, hoping the fans don't realize how badly they have fucked up. They have turned a celebration of league growth into a funeral for player loyalty. This is the reality of the WNBA in 2026. It is a cold and heartless business where the villains wear suits and the heroes are left unprotected. The reputation of the league is in the gutter because they chose to treat their stars like property instead of partners. The expansion teams are just as guilty. They are ready to pounce on these unprotected stars and strip them away from their fans. The Toronto Tempo and the Portland Fire don't care about the history or the chemistry of the teams they are raiding. They only care about winning and making money. This is the nature of the beast, but the league has made it easier for them than ever before. By allowing them to take bird rights for unrestricted free agents, the league has basically given them a license to steal. It is a total breakdown of the competitive balance that the league is supposed to protect. We are looking at a situation where the face of the league could be different by tomorrow morning. 21 All-Stars are in the crosshairs. This is not a drill. It is a total meltdown that will change the course of basketball history. The contractual cliff is a phrase that will haunt this CBA for years to come. The players will not forget this betrayal. They will not forget that when the league had a chance to protect them, they chose to leave them exposed. The fans will not forget that the teams they supported chose to gamble with their favorite players' careers. It is a dark day for the sport, and the evidence is undeniable. The front office snakes think they can just move on and build new rosters. They think the fans will just keep buying tickets and the players will just keep playing hard, but they are wrong. The locker room culture is the heart of any team, and they have ripped it out. You cannot have a successful franchise when 80% of the league is looking for the exit. The toxicity is spreading from the front office down to the court. The players are already talking about sit-outs and trade demands as soon as the season starts. They are done being the victims of league politics. They are ready to fight back against the corrupt system that tried to bury them. Every single technical foul and every single locker room blow-up this season can be traced back to this moment. The frustration is going to boil over and it will not be pretty. The league office will try to find players and keep them quiet, but the truth is already out. The investigation into the CBA negotiations and the expansion draft rules shows a clear pattern of manipulation. The league wanted this chaos because it keeps the players distracted and the owners in power. It is a classic move by a corrupt organization to keep the labor force fighting among themselves while the bosses take the profits. The super free agency is a lie. It is not about freedom for the players. It is about a forced reshuffling of the deck that benefits the league's bottom line. The stars are being used as pawns in a game they never agreed to play. The brand deals they worked so hard for are at risk because they might be moved to a market where they have no following. The league doesn't care about the personal lives or the financial stability of the athletes. They only care about the Toronto and Portland expansion fees. It is a cold-blooded reality that every player is now forced to face. The final buzzer is coming for the GMs who thought they could get away with this. They have ruined their reputations and destroyed the trust of their best players. The super free agency chaos will be their legacy. They are the villains of this story, and there is no coming back from the damage they have caused. The stars who were left unprotected will eventually find new homes, but they will never forget who turned their backs on them. The league is heading into a season of total meltdown, and the front offices are the ones who lit the match. The WNBA is no longer about the game. It is a forensic study in how to destroy a league from the inside out. The betrayal of the 21 All-Stars is a bombshell that will be studied for years. The contractual cliff is the beginning of the end for the old way of doing things. The players are going to take their power back, and the corrupt front offices are going to pay the price. The expansion draft is the spark, but the fire was built by years of disrespect and manipulation. When the picks are announced on ESPN, the world will see the results of the total meltdown. The villains are in the war rooms, and the heroes are the ones fighting for their careers. The loyalty is gone, and the war has just begun. The architect of this downfall is the league office and every GM who signed off on the protection lists. They have proven that they do not value the women who make the league possible. They have chosen expansion fees over player safety and marketing over morality. The final buzzer has sounded on the era of trust. The players are now the ones in control of the truth, And they are not staying silent anymore. The super free agency is a disaster of epic proportions, and the fallout will be felt for decades. The villains have won the battle, but they have lost the heart of the league. Don't let the shiny lights of the draft fool you into thinking everything is okay, because the locker rooms are screaming. The reputation of the WNBA is in ruins, and the front offices are the ones who pulled the trigger.